Hi everyone, I'm so excited to show you our new spell kit that's been added to the shop. This spell kit is used for spirit contact. And so I made this kit to be able to use during Halloween and Samhain, but you can use this throughout any time of the year. It just happens that during this time as the veil is lifting, you have a higher chance and it's easier to make contact with your spirits, ancestors. So let me show you what's involved. You get to pick one of two boxes, either this one or this one. And what's included, you get your spirit contact incense, veil, lift the veil powder, the new ancestor oil, and a charcoal, and just a little skull bead for decoration. And this is your box. It's all been handmade by us. You can store your items in there or use it as a little, I like to see it as a little portal. And then you also get a candle. Very pretty candle with a moon. And it's dripped. And so the whole purpose of this spell kit is to be able to give light and offering and call on the energy of the dead. So the first thing you want to do, because you always have to give something in return, is give an offering. And I like to start off, especially during Halloween night, give an offering of food. You can give anything like apples, any kind of fruit that you like, cookies, pastries. You can even make them a whole meal if that's what you want to do. I like to spoil mine with a lot of sweets. So I usually give them cookies, give them some chocolate. And so while you're doing all of this, you're already, reaching out to your spirits and guides, ancestors, and you're letting them know, I offer you this food so you may never be hungry. And then I like to give them water. You can also give them coffee. You can give them some liquor. But I like to give them their water. And I tell them, so you may never be thirsty. And so the whole purpose of Halloween night is that the veil has lifted. And we're giving the spirits energy and light so that they can cross over. We usually light them candles so they can find their way. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take your candle. Every item that's included here has already been made and charged with a certain purpose. And all the ingredients here are directed for spirit contact. And I charged it in a certain way to be able to call on your specific spirits, guides, and spirits that walk with you, but also to protect you, meaning that there's no chance of, somebody coming through who is fake, a fake entity. These are all specific spirits that walk with you. Okay, so the candle has already been charged and blessed. And the veil powder is made with graveyard dirt and roots and herbs directed for spirit contact. The dirt that's used in this powder is from a cemetery in Silverton, Colorado. It's this beautiful graveyard up in the mountains. I'll post a picture in the listing so everybody can see. And so this place had such beautiful energy. And the thing about gathering graveyard dirt is that if you're trying to contact, let's say, an ancestor, somebody who passed away and is buried in another cemetery in another state, you can use graveyard dirt from wherever you're at and still be able to open the veil, open the portal, and make contact with them. Because graveyard dirt just has that energy, has that portal energy to be able to make contact. Now, if you're wanting to work with a direct family member that passed away, then yes, you would go gather dirt from that specific person. Or if you're wanting to work with, if you've done your research on a specific person and you want to ask them for, their help, then you gather from that person. But just in general, to make contact, any place in the graveyard, any location that you gather dirt will work fine. So you're going to take your dirt and you're going to sprinkle it around your candle. And all this is doing is just directing focus. You don't have to use the whole thing. You can save some and then later on just sprinkle it by your front door or any place that you feel needs protection. And then you're going to take your charcoal. Please make sure that you're using a plate that's fireproof and that can hold the heat of charcoal. I like to usually pour some salt, a good chunk of salt. Where I'm going to put the charcoal, and then you go ahead and light it. And then you put it on top of the salt, and that's going to create a little barrier of protection from the plate for it to get not to get too hot. So while the charcoal's lighting up, then you're going to go ahead and just light your candle. I offer you light so you may find your way and make contact with me. And then your oil. Take some of the oil and put it on your wrist. Rub it in. Put some on your third eye. On behind your neck. And just smell everything. And during this, you can speak to your ancestors. I call on you to make contact with me. So now that your charcoal's going, take your incense. And just put it there. So now you're going to close your eyes and meditate. Now is a good time. If you have any questions, you can, write them down on a piece of paper ahead of time. If you're trying to make contact with your spirits and guides or ancestors, just close your eyes. Focus on your breathing for about 5 minutes. Smell the incense, smell the oil, and just focus on your breathing. And then start asking, what is your name? And so you might not get a message right away. And the reason for that is because energy takes time to travel. And so the time in the astral plane is different. When we're asking something here, it takes time for our message to get delivered to the other side. So for example, I'm asking what my spirit guide's name is. And it might be a couple of days, and then randomly in my sleep, I might hear a name. Or a name will keep popping up everywhere you look. And for example, Michael. Everywhere you look, the name Michael pops up. In a book, on television, wherever. And so this is your answer from your spirit guides. It all depends on how open you are and your intuition. You might get a message right away, or it might take a little while. So don't get discouraged if you don't get an answer right away. And then during this time, if you have other questions that you want to ask your spirit guides, then go ahead and ask them. And just take time breathing and, listening to your surroundings, what comes to mind. Sometimes you might hear a whisper. Sometimes just something pops into your mind. People think that spirit contact is just listening to people talking, like somebody's just going to come next to you and talk to you. And that's not how it always is. Sometimes they just put thoughts in our minds. It's that feeling of knowing, and you get that gut feeling in your stomach where you just know something right away. And that's your intuition. It's like a download from the spirit world. And so you can just spend as much time as you want here. This is your own ritual. And keep adding incense. You can also use this time to ask for something. This is the time that we can ask for blessings from our ancestors. You can make a list of what you want for the next year. And just make your list. For example, you're wanting to, manifest moving into a home, buying a house, buying a car, growing a business, whatever it is that you need to do. And you take your list, you pass it by the incense, and you ask your spirits, please accept my petition. And then you just take your list, and you can keep it with your candle. And then at the very end, once everything is melted, the wax has melted, and it's poured over your petition, you can take it and put it in your little box with the wax remains and keep it there until next year. So this is your own personal ritual. How you use this kit is all about what you need, what you need to get out of it. I just provide the tools. Everything comes charged and ready to use. You just have to give it direction. And so I hope that you enjoyed my little ritual. Let me know if you have any questions. Blessings.